You are my hero, Academia. What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are taking a look at the My Hero Academia Your Next movie, and we're going to be reviewing it in today's video and talking about it. This is the, I want to say, fourth My Hero movie, because I do believe the first one was the one where they went to the island and did the tech fair. The second one was where they went to the island to do hero training. The third one was where they were on the run. And the fourth one is this one. So I definitely think this is the fourth one unless I'm missing something. But I always like some more My Hero content. And I do believe this movie takes place before Season 7. Because Deku has the new, his new tattered suit. But he also doesn't, he isn't fighting Shigaraki in this one, so I do feel like it's in between the seasons, but I could be wrong with that timeline. If I am wrong, please do correct me down in the comments below. But without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, My Hero Academia Your Next is a 2024 action fantasy movie, which is 1 hour and 50 minutes. It has a 7 out of 10 IMDb and a 94% Rotten Tomatoes. Hoping to be the best hero he can be, high school student Izuku Midoriya confronts a villain who imitates the hero he's long admired. So how the story actually opens is with this random dude chilling. It is a Europe guy, so the villains are Europeans. Love it. I love being made out to be a villain because I am from the European... No, I'm not. I think... No, we left the European... I'm not Europe anymore, unfortunately. But, you know what? Continue with the movie. They then show up on a very fancy boat in Japan, and they are mimicking All Might, becoming the new #1, and they use coins in this girl. They absorb her power to make their powers stronger, and he makes this giant fucking warship, which has different biomes inside, from a beach to a desert to a snowy mountain to a fucking dungeon and a castle and a citadel, all inside. And there is this sniper guy who's very similar to, like, Lady Nagant, because he has, like, a gun in his arm, who's trying to take out and assassinate this girl who's being sort of kidnapped. So they go inside, and the students of Class 1A are the heroes. They were trailing a villain until they got sucked into this big shining light. And they're in 3 groups, Group A, B, and C. Group A has Izuku, Ochako, Jiro, and a couple Sero, and a couple of others. Group B is Todoroki, Momo, Ida, and shit like that. And Group C is Bakugo, Kirishima, and Mina, and other people as well. And they all get split up. Bakugo's group gets put in a dungeon, which he fights his way through, and he cheats his way through because he bursts through walls and manages to get to the Citadel, where he meets up with the others. His story was pretty cut short, pretty boring. The other two is Todoroki's group end up in a city. They go to the main source of the city, and they all get knocked out instantaneously by one of the main villain's powers. Then we have Izuku's group, who Izuku gets split off from the rest of his group by falling down a hole and meeting up with Sniper Guy, who has a motorbike. And Deku's powers are being neutralized. So they fight the guy, they take him out, then they go to the Citadel, meet up with everybody. They all have a grand, like, hype moment, and they head towards the big bad. And Ida and everyone else out of Class 1A except Bakugo, Todoroki, Deku, and Tokoyami all head to the outside with Mirio, and they fight demons, stopping them so all the people can get out. The heroes on the outside make a hole in this machine so then all the, like, civilians can jump out. These 4 then get split up. Tokoyami takes out one villain who, like, Hawks comes to help. Then we have Bakugo and Todoroki taking out 2 villains, and then we have Deku continuing on with Sniper Guy to take out the final villain. Tokoyami and Hawks manage to defeat those guys and escape. We then have Bakugo and Todoroki defeating their guys and catching up with Deku, where they have a big fight, and they lose control, and the bad guy starts winning, but then Deku goes fucking ultra mode and takes him out, and our Sniper Guy saves the girl, and they live happily ever after. They have a hug. Japan is even more in ruins than it was before, and that's the end of the movie. Gonna be honest, I skipped through that really quickly because a lot more shit happened in the 1 hour and 50 minutes. However, I do feel like this one was quite boring because it's very similar to the movie that we just had. The Two Heroes one, where we have Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku all being split up, But then coming back together for the final fight and then splitting back up again, taking out one like side villain at a time until they all come back together and fight the final guy together to save the world. Honestly, it feels beat for beat like the last one, but has the characters more or less doing more than what they did in the last movie. It kind of feels like the second movie where everybody has some form of role, everybody has something to do, so it does have a little bit more Class A action. And I like that. I like that everyone has a role. I like that everyone has something to do because Class A is really cool. And a lot of the characters get sidelined most of the time, especially Sero, who is one of my favorite characters. So I'm glad that he wasn't as sidelined as much this time around. And he actually had some speaking roles, some sort of roles which were pretty cup, pretty forefront and center. We then have the basic shit of the fighting, which looked fucking clean. Like, the movie looked like My Hero. It always does. The animation style didn't change, but the fighting at the end was so fucking clean. That final fight was so fucking cool, so fucking hype, and made the movie 10 times better. We got to explore some different powers that we wouldn't normally get to see in My Hero, and we get to see and explore different like genres that we wouldn't normally get to see in My Hero, and that's what I kind of like about the movies, because it gives us a little bit of something that we wouldn't normally see the characters be doing, like going through dungeons, doing dungeon crawlers, going through like medieval towns and villages, and doing like fantasy shit. Again, something that we wouldn't see in the anime. It's a little bit of a change of pace, it's a little bit more upbeat and exciting, so I quite liked this one. I thought it was really cool. Thought it was interesting to see how these characters adapted to this new situation that they were put in, especially with this fantasy world, with My Hero being kind of futuristic style, like, movie, I guess, like a futuristic style anime. So it's really interesting to see how they all interacted and dealt with the situation. I just thought it was really cool. Yeah, the voice acting is the same as always. I do watch the anime in dub, so please don't at me. I struggle with reading, so you gotta bear with me. And the voice actors, I think, don't actually do that bad in dub, so, you know, don't at me. The voice actors were decent, alright? They do a good job. They're iconic, and these voice actors find their way into pretty much every anime. I can fucking name these guys off by heart if I hear them. Like, Bakugo plays Connie in Attack on Titan as well. And then we have Deku in Danganronpa, and also in, I do believe, Nanbaka, the prison school one. Not the prison school. The prison anime, Nanbaka, the sort of crime one where the villains have superpowers. But yeah, there isn't really much else to say about this movie. The villain isn't that exciting. He's like a mob boss who wants to be All Might, and his power is money. And I was questioning how he had this much cash, because he was throwing money left, right, and center. Every time he threw a punch, he threw out like at least 5 coins. So how the fuck was he this rich to have this much money to throw about to create this giant masterpiece of a fucking citadel? I know his power's being amplified, but if his power needs the cash that he's throwing, how much money does this fucker have? I know he's rich, and I know he's like the leader of the crime family, but like, fucking hell, are you really okay with wasting your money like this, just to throw punches and shit? Like, your money's gonna run out sooner or later, so they can either wait for your money to run out, because no one carries that many coins with them anymore, everything is digital, so I'm shocked that he even had that many coins in the first place. I can count on one hand how many coins I have. It's 1, because I found it on the floor, it's a 20p. That is it, that is the cash money that I have, so I was shocked, and I didn't really understand how his power worked, really, because he can shapeshift, and then he can transform other things, and he has super strength and shit. Can he just, like, buy his way into power? Imagine, like, if he wasn't, like, a rich villain. What if he was just, like, a regular dude? Like, surely this power would not be useful for a regular dude. So he's lucky that he's rich, not gonna lie. He's lucky that he's, like, a leader of the crime family, because if you were, like, poor, then this power would not work for you. We have other things going on as well, with like the side characters getting put into like a black hole dimension when they die, or like when they fail him, and I thought that was brutal, not gonna lie. I don't know if they survived or not. Like, we never see them again once they fall into this black hole. It doesn't specifically say that they're dead, but they don't come back, so I'm assuming that they're long gone. So, yeah, we have, like, people being sent to a fucking void for failing the crime family, which is kind of scary, not gonna lie. So, again, this dude can literally just create whatever the fuck he wants, because he can open up portals and shit to places that he can't even throw coins. So, I don't understand this dude's power. And that kind of made it hard to follow, because you didn't know... Bless me. You didn't know what he was going to do next. So it kind of made it really hard to follow and really hard to sort of gather what was going on most of the time, because he could just basically do like the Moon Knight random bullshit go, and shit would just happen. Whereas Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku have their powers set, and we know what they can do, and it's cool how they can use their powers and adapt to different villains to sort of see how well they can use their powers to work together. It is really interesting to see Bakugo and Todoroki teaming up in that one fight and using their abilities together to keep the main villain like off the ground with the ice, fire, and explosions. Honestly, goes really hard and just basically shows the potential that these guys have for teaming up together and working together and what they can do, you know, just together. It is really cool. It is like the main three characters all the time, though. I would have liked Tokoyami to like maybe get involved a little bit more with the final fight. I know it wasn't dark enough for Dark Shadow, but still, like, give us someone else. I was shocked when he was actually chosen for like one of the like 4 big guys to go and fight the villain, and then he was like instantly sidelined like straight away by fighting the demons in the dungeon, which again I felt like was pointless to have. You could have just skipped that entire section. Like, there was no need for that. Like, that point of the movie did not do anything. It just took a little bit more time to shine. But other than that, I thought it was a decent movie. It's not the best My Hero movie that they've ever come out with, but I do still think it is really good. So I am personally going to give it like a solid 6 out of 10, because I definitely don't think it's the best one. I think it fits solid 3rd in my ranking of the My Hero movies.